coming to you live from a bit of a different background. Today is January 26th. This is going to be your first edition of 60-second news. It's going to be inserted at the beginning of the podcast, which you see that now. You clicked on the podcast, you're here. I'm going to go quickly here. Today's January 26th. Deadpool got released to Marvel's Midnight Suns as part of the first DLC, so go play that character. But the exciting news, the show 23, baby, just got announced that the cover athlete reveal will be January 30th. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited. I'm your sports guy here. Now, time to hand it over to Jake in the first Discord podcast.
Thank you so much for that wonderful news segment, Sims. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Under Controllers podcast. I am Jake.
I am Jace. I'm Tanner.
What was that sound?
Sorry, I had to swallow quick.
Oh my god.
That means two things. Cut.
Definitely gonna have to cut that little section.
Nah.
Wait, no, you gotta wait at least 5 minutes. It can't be in the first 5 minutes of the video.
Darn.
Oh, we can't monetize the video.
I'll just say that's what she said a little bit. Yeah, you just cut that part out and put it farther in the middle. That's your blooper at the end.
My goodness. Yeah, that's the little eye catch. I think it's hilarious of how Sims' little thing that's going at the beginning of this podcast says that get ready for the first Discord podcast, and we bamboozled him, and we're not doing a Discord podcast tonight.
Yeah, man, we gotta pull the old we want to hang out with the boys trick.
Well, what happened is that Chase needed to download GTA 5 because we're talking about going through and doing the heists, either for a video on stream or just doing it just to have fun. We haven't quite decided yet, but he has to come and download the game, so we figured it'd be easier for him to just come to my house and download it than it would be for him to download it at home. So while he was here, we said we'd just shoot the podcast here.
They sure taking a sweet time on running the internet around my house.
It's there. They just have to come place your drop.
It'll be there in a month. They'll place my foot but they don't hurry up.
I told you call them.
I forgot. It's been a month.
Yeah. They really do be like. What's even worse is that whenever I was out, like taking measurements for the next job that we're going to be working on. I was outside taking measurements for a little bit. They would ask about how long is it going to be, and other people would say, probably about a year. And it's been almost a year since we started taking measurements for that. Which, granted, we're just waiting. I think it's going out to bid right now, or it might already be out to bid. I can't remember.
Yeah, they were working on some of it up from the house the other day when I was headed to work.
Yeah,
they had a bunch of people in the little trucks that they got,
the flash trailers and everything.
Yeah, they was working on all of that.
Yeah. They just placed my parents. Oh no, they just took my parents up like earlier this week. I think like Tuesday. So they have fiber now, so they're very, very happy about that. One of my favorite stories ever was that the guys from Mega 64, like that whenever they got internet at one of their offices, they called, like, all they did was run the drop. Like, they didn't do any of the inside like install. And one of the guys called the internet provider and was like, "Hey, you know, are you guys gonna come set the box up, or is there someone else I have to call?" And they said, "Well, you could do it. Your dad could do it." And like they go on this whole spiel of like, "Yeah, we don't do installs. If it's like you guys have to do that." And he was very furious, which rightfully so. I'd be very upset if if they had ran my drop to my house and they're just like, "All right, have fun, bud. That's all. You get that now." That would infuriate me.
Yeah, go ahead and grab your drill and go drill a hole in your wall.
They drilled a hole through the floor.
Yeah, that's usually where they'll go for like
Yeah.
like the
Trailers and stuff. Yeah.
no, like whenever they do satellite.
Yeah.
For that kind, like Dish and DirecTV.
Yeah.
What they'll do.
Go through. Yeah. Yeah. At my parents' house, I think they went through the wall, but here, it was easier for him to go underneath because all he had to do was crawl underneath my trailer, and he drilled in from the top and then just crawled underneath my trailer and found it and fed it back up through, and it's pretty good. Had a pretty good time, and I'm happy now with fiber. I've spent my entire life not having good internet at all, and now all of a sudden I have fiber, and it's really, really great, really great. So if you live in an area that you can get fiber internet, do it. Absolutely. Don't go for satellite. Don't go for copper. If you can get fiber, fiber is your best option.
It really is. It's faster download speeds and just faster altogether.
I
Less
think
likely to cut out.
I'll have to. I can't remember. Let me look back. One of my coworkers sent me a thing about it. Of they used. I think it was somewhere over in it was somewhere in Europe. I know for a fact. But I can't remember exactly where. They let me see if I can find it. It was like the okay. I've deleted messages since then. Never mind. I don't know where it's at. He said they transported like I can't remember an X amount of data over like miles on one single fiber, and I can't remember how it was like it was huge of like just how much information they were able to push down one fiber, and it was like amazing in my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
One of the things that we discussed a little bit on stream last night uh was I do want to preface this by saying that I don't watch Rick and Morty anymore, but I saw that Justin Roiland got fired from Rick and Morty and also from his gaming company, Squatching Game.
Yeah, I think it's called Squanchy Game.
Yeah. But they did say that they're going to continue to support High on Life and keep working on it. But that was just crazy to me to see that he lost his job or got fired, which rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah,
he's in the midst of a domestic. I think it was for domestic.
battery.
Have they come out with what it was going to be yet?
I think they did. I think it was domestic battery, and he had like
'Cause I knew it was domestic violence.
$10,000 in like fines and stuff they had to pay right up. Really sucks
Yeah,
because the games are really hilarious. Like High on Life, hilarious. But also Rick and Morty was really good for a long time.
the VR game also for Rick and Morty. I watched it back whenever I watched the show, so
And then they
I thought it was
had
funny.
Trover Saves the Galaxy, I believe is what it was called.
I don't know what else
That one.
he's done, but it was just crazy to me that after all that, just
Yep, be
you know,
gone.
and yeah, it shows you just don't do those types of things. That's not cool. That's a absolutely terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah,
to
don't beat up
do.
the people that live with you.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to do. Um, Chase, you also brought up something really interesting last night on stream. So I stream on Twitch every Tuesday night. If you guys want to go check that out? It's just Noble. I think twitch.tv/Noble7
You meant
x777.
Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday about 6:30. You can. I think there's a link to it. I haven't put a link to it on YouTube or anything, but you can just go look me up on Twitch. And we got into a discussion last night talking about mad cow disease and rabies. And I had made the statement. I said, I wonder which one is more likely to mutate into a zombie disease that will eventually kill us all. And Chase said that we should like look at all of the zombie movies and see which ones fit the technical term or like
Yeah.
technical definition of a zombie. And I looked up the technical term for or the technical definition of a zombie, and no zombie movie, to my knowledge, really follows what it is because the definition of a zombie is someone who has been raised via witchcraft or basically necromancy,
Oh Jesus.
reanimated corpse.
He was refurbished.
We're not getting into that discussion. I said that on stream. I said because then I said technically it's a person that was dead but is alive again, and then I said then by that merit Jesus is a zombie, and I don't like that. So we're not going down that road. But no, it is a body that has been brought back to life, not a person per se, but a body that has been brought back to life via means of witchcraft. So
I like Call of Duty Zombies.
is that how?
It is, yeah.
Really? So that's a technical.
Well,
That game is technically for real zombies.
more like ancient
It-
witchcraft, though. It's
Oh,
more like
witchcraft.
H.P. Lovecraft type of magic.
But then that would fit the criteria.
It's like
Uh,
if you consider like primordial forces of nature
yeah.
magic, then that would be magic. Yeah.
So see, like The Walking Dead does not count because it's a virus. 28 days later, it's a virus. I think Resident,
World War Z.
it's a
Also a
virus.
virus because they avoid people that are sick.
Yeah. Resident Evil, also, it's a virus. So those technically don't count as zombies by the technical definition. But I think it kind of gets lumped in because it's like, they were dead, but now they're not dead, whether or not it's from that. I don't think that I'm not sure, Zombieland, it's a virus too, isn't it?
I don't know if it.
I don't think
Do
they
they
ever
ever
really.
tell you? Do they ever tell you
I
how
don't
the
think-
zombie outbreak happened?
I don't think that they do. In
Zombieland never tells you, but it does tell you that it's a virus.
Yeah, it
It
would.
never tells
Yeah,
you.
it does.
It's kind of like The Walking Dead. It never tells you how it happened.
But it's known that it's a virus.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the same thing. Zombieland does not count. I know that the remake of Dawn of the Dead, I think that it is also. I think that was your phone, Tanner. It is also does not fit the criteria. So I don't even know where to start on what zombie movies
Ash versus Evil Dead.
fit.
That one, yeah, is also technically magical.
That one fits then, yeah, because it definitely does. Because I've
Jason Voorhees, technically a zombie.
Yeah,
okay.
he did die and he was resurrected. What's another one? They have one of the Dead movies where it's like one of the really bad ones that
Like
they meme on all the time.
Night of the Living Dead, probably, or one of those.
They made man, I watched it the other day. There was like 4 different variations of this like green chemical that would get spilled into the ground.
Yeah.
And people would have to just in random government accidents, and it would turn the people around them into zombies.
Yeah.
And they made like 4 movies, and they were really crappy because it was the same bull crap.
Yeah.
In every one of the 4 movies.
I mean, isn't that what most people? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was literally like, yo, this pizza guy and his girlfriend go into this lab and they get hooked up, and one of them has a little bit of that green liquid spilled on them, and that's
zombie.
it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, isn't that like the horror genre in a nutshell? Of all of the sequels follow the same plot line of the first movie, just about. Because like even
same plot line, different place.
Yeah, same
different
plot line, and
setting.
sometimes different characters. Because like one of the new movies that I've seen that I'm really interested in. Once again, don't like horror movies, so have not seen it. Just like our discussion last week, or not last week, but the last time we had a podcast where we talked about like the most disturbing movies we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I brought up one film I've not seen all the way through, and one film that I refuse to watch. Because I just heard a description of it and it was disgusting, and I did not want to see it ever. Just so you know, Chase, the first movie was the 2006 remake of The Hills Have Eyes. That one, I couldn't.
Did anyone mention the Human Centipede?
Yes, everybody.
Tanner did.
That
and
one is up.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I hate that you weren't here for that podcast, and I hate that Tyler wasn't here because I knew that's what y'all were gonna say. Let me ask you, which one's worse, the second one or the first one?
The first one.
Really?
The third one is maybe worse than the first one, to be
See,
honest.
I thought that the second one was worse than the first. Like, I thought the second one was the worst of all 3 of them.
I don't know. The second one just kind of like a crazy guy doing it.
It's like,
which I
someone who was
mean,
obsessed with it.
considering all of them are crazy because they're trying to sew people butt to mouth.
Well, see, the first guy at least was a doctor, so he could do it properly. The second guy is just like a dude, right?
Yeah. I think he's like a security guard or something, and he has like this weird addiction to the movie.
Yeah.
And he's
like
puts
a
together like
copycat or
20
whatever,
people. Yeah, it's like 20 people, I think. And then in the third one, it's a prison that they do it to.
Oh, that's
and they make
awful.
it reversible, but you're gonna have the scars forever.
Yeah.
And in that movie is up because you get to see somebody get castrated, and
Disgusting.
one of the prison inmates cuts a hole.
Okay, yeah, let's not talk about that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You told me about that.
Yeah, he gets
NSFW. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the scene that you're talking about. I have never seen the movie, but I know which one because you've told me about it before.
Yeah, that one's messed up.
The other one that I said that I refused to watch because I watched a video. Somebody else watched it and he breaks down what happened. And the other one is a Serbian film, and mm-mm, I will not. Like I told Tanner and Sims that I was like messed up for like the remainder of the day after hearing about that one.
I remember when we watched Human Centipede Man Tyler.
Mm.
It's like as soon as you got done with it, you were like we had like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And we were like disoriented and
It's
stuff.
like a
It was
bad
like,
car wreck. You
yeah.
want to look away, but you can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel with horror movies. But I remember I watched back when I was editing the podcast, and I forgot to mention. I was going to tell you, Tanner, you and Sims, that the reason a Serbian film was made was to combat oppression in Serbia in the film industry of like freedom of speech. Of that was the whole reason that the movie was made. Like that, the director literally thought of the most evil and deplorable and messed up things he could put into a movie, and did that so that he could prove his point of freedom of speech. It was.
Didn't you say that you were going to tell us about that?
I was going to tell you about a scene that happens in the movie, and I forgot to tell you guys because what it is when I was listening to the review of it, I thought one thing was happening that was already disgusting, and then I read the comment and figured out that something else was happening that was worse. But we can talk about that afterwards. I would prefer our podcast stay monetized. But one of them was The Hills Have Eyes. Anyway, was one of the movies that messed me up, and I forgot my original point. But I was going to talk about the movie called The Descent.
Oh yeah, that movie has a messed up ending.
It has two endings.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
I'm talking about the overseas one.
Yeah,
That one's
the United
super
Kingdom one.
messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really. It's not really. Yeah, it's really messed up and dark, but in a different way. It's in a much better way than some of the other ones. But the first movie of they go not camping. Basic. Do you know? Have you ever seen the movie, Tanner?
I think I
Uh,
don't know.
Cliff Notes version, like 6 female friends all go into a cavern to go caving, and they're supposed to be going to a known cave, but they go to one of their psychotic friends decides, hey, let's just go to this unexplored one, and doesn't tell anybody. So they have a map of the cave, and they're like, hey, this map doesn't match up. And she's like, oh, we didn't go to that cave. And everyone's like, why did you take us here? And we're like, I thought we could like explore it together and have fun and discover stuff. Well, while they're down there, they discover a whole bunch of uh I don't know what you want to call feral
like,
people.
Yeah, they're like
It's like a different evolution chain of people.
they're like subdwelling humanoid
Yeah.
creatures.
And they have to fight them off and everything. And the second movie, I don't want to spoil the ending. I'm not going to spoil the ending because there's 2 endings to the movie. But since there's a Descent 2, we're going to go with the second ending rather than the first ending. The kind of spoiled the movie right there, but go check it out. It's very interesting. But it's literally the same thing of they take her back into the cavern to try and find her friends that didn't come out with her. And it's the same
Kind of like
movie.
The Mist, I think.
Oh yeah, The Mist has
That's
pretty
got a messed up
ending.
ending.
Yeah,
But it actually makes sense.
have you heard the theory about
Yeah.
The Mist? So The Mist, you remember in the grocery place?
I've never
grocery
seen the
department?
movie.
Okay, well,
I do
at
know the
one
ending,
point, so like in the beginning, like this father and the son leave their mom and wife respectively.
Mhm.
They're like a little kid.
Yeah.
So they leave to go to the grocery store to pick up some groceries and stuff, and the Mist comes in, and the Mist is a like Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a
the
Stephen King
book.
book, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like the same person who makes it.
Yeah,
Shadows over Innsmouth.
Pet
Cthulhu.
Cemetery,
Yes,
The Dead
things.
Zone, I think. All those books.
Yeah. Well, anyways, they go in there and the mist rolls in, and it comes with all these crazy creatures that try to they literally try to break into the place and kill people. So somewhere like in the middle of the movie, this old lady that's like really religious,
Mhm.
she starts hollering like she's a Karen,
Ah,
total Karen,
gotcha.
and she's like, "This is all we need to have a sacrifice for the mist." So they try to sacrifice the kid to the mist, and then the dad like fights them off and stuff.
Deeply religious, and immediately we need to sacrifice to
Yeah,
appease this thing. Wow.
yeah. Well, and then at the end of the movie, they end up making, I think, what is it? An old guy and an old woman, and then his son and him,
Mhm.
and then I think one other lady. They all make it to a car, and they're like driving away, trying to drive out of the mist, and they break down.
Oh, I know the ending. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he has like 4 bullets in the gun, and he decides to kill his entire family,
Yep. He kills
or kill all
everybody in
the
the
people
car.
in the car except for him,
Mhm.
and when he steps out, the mist goes away. Well, the
Very
theory
messed
is
up,
he sacrificed his son,
and that's what took
and
it
that
away.
took the fog away, the
Really?
mist.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of a similar situation kind of, have you seen the trailer for the new movie? I think it's called, like, A Knock at the Door or something like that, of it. Okay, so it's this family and their daughter. Uh, it's a modern family situation, I'll say that, of it 2 guys and their daughter. Um, they go out to, stay in an Airbnb basically, like, in the middle of the woods, like, just in a cabin camping, and while they're out there, these people break in, and, like, they tie all 3 of them to, or they tie the 2 dads to a chair, and
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and the daughter's just kinda there, and these people are like, "Alright, look, I need you to listen to me, and not, and, like, just listen. That basically the world's going to end unless you 2 sacrifice, or unless y'all sacrifice one of your family members. So it's like, either one of you can sacrifice yourself or sacrifice your daughter, and we can, you know, to keep the world from ending, basically. It looks really interesting. I kinda wanna go check it out, of it, and, like, it's them trying to fight and get away and everything, and the world is ending around them, like, literally the world is ending around them as this is going on, as the whole movie's going on. Like, you see, like, tidal waves coming in and destroying things, you see a big earthquakes, and, like, I think a volcanoes erupting and everything. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the world's ending around them, and it's just this group of people trying to convince, this family that they have to give up one of their family members to save the world from ending. But looks really interesting.
We're also talking about going back to the zombie thing.
Yeah.
Is Frankenstein a zombie? Because he's an amalgamation of corpses, and he is reanimated technically, but he's multiple corpses.
He's not reanimated by magical means, though. Electricity.
I mean, that's a force of nature.
Not magical.
I mean, it's kind of magical.
There it depends on what you want to consider magical, because back in the day, yeah, someone would say, "Oh, he possesses magic because he made lightning strike where he wanted to," where in all reality, he just was a scientist that had a lightning rod to conduct the electricity into it. Is he considered a zombie by not by our standards, but by traditional means? I mean, would
I
you
mean,
consider him a zombie?
I think I would honestly, to be honest with you, because he's reanimated. He is a reanimated corpse.
It's a
He's just multiple. Of
reanimated
them.
corpse. It's just several of them.
I
Yeah.
heard this really weird story on the zombie matter today, and it was like, I don't know if it's fictional or not, but it was basically this guy, this like the scientist guy, right? He
Mhm.
was trying to reanimate like dead people from the dead,
Right.
and he had built this machine, and it was like way back in the day, and he was building the machine, right? And he had already tested it on like dogs and stuff. And basically, what he did is he'd put a body on like this table, and he'd
Yeah.
spin it around really fast, and he'd
Right.
get the blood circulating. And I don't know if they'd shock it or not. I don't know if that would do anything, but he said that he got to get a heartbeat out of the dog, and that he did manage to reanimate the dog, and it lived for a few more months after.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that video of that guy
Is that
that
real? Or is it
I have
just a
no
movie?
idea.
I don't know if it's real, but I know that there is another thing that's very similar to the dog thing, where they cut where they take like a decapitated dog head,
Oh, I've seen stuff like
yeah,
this. Yeah.
and they make the veins and they make artificial veins and artificial heart
Hmm.
to recirculate it
Yeah.
blood, and then they kind of re-kickstart its
Yeah.
brain by pumping electrodes into it,
Yeah.
and it does wake up and look its eyes around for a little while, but that can also just be from the electric
Right.
shocks.
That reminds me of there was a scientific team, and this is kind of graphic. I guess both of the things we talked about were kind of graphic. Of they were trying to see, could you decapitate something and quickly enough reattach everything to another body and it still be alive and function and everything. And they took a monkey and they removed its head and everything and attached it to another monkey's body that was already dead. And I can't remember. It came back to life, and I can't remember if it could move around and everything. But I remember. I think that was and for some reason it was in an episode of Monster Quest. I think of it was something to do with like ape men. I think was of like Russian ape men was the thing of supposedly in the 60s. Russians were attempting to cross humans and apes to make like super soldiers and stuff.
Planet of the Apes.
Also,
Yeah,
another really messed up movie. Have you ever watched The Happening?
only ever heard of that movie.
It basically there's this thing that's in the it's a virus, it's kind of virus that affects like trees and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
And whenever the wind blows, it like
Tanner, talking to your mic.
it infects
There you
them. It infects people, and whenever it infects them, it gives them like really suicidal tendencies
Yeah,
and thoughts, and they will like go out of anything's way just to kill themselves.
that's
yeah.
freaky.
It's like literally horrible.
Man, that sounds awful. Real depressing podcast tonight.
Lot
Talking
of
about
death.
scary movies and depressing things. Talking about Justin Roiland getting fired. Talking about zombie movies. Talking about movies that make us sad and depressed and have no faith left in humanity. You guys want to talk about something fun? You guys
Oh,
want
also,
to talk about something else?
another thing
What's
is,
up?
I think they're supposed to be putting Titanic back in the theaters
I think I heard
on
about that. They were
Valentine's
gonna.
Day or something like that.
I think I heard about that. Of like they're gonna re-release, not re-release, but Titanic's gonna be back in the theaters. I think I heard about that.
Good. We get to bring back the meme of draw me like one of your French girls.
That also, and like the whole thing of they both could have fit on that door. We get to bring that back.
I don't know.
Speaking of Titanic, we played that map,
Yeah, the
Voyage of
zombies
Despair,
map.
Was it
Black
called?
Ops 4.
There's a Black Ops 4 Zombies map called Voyage of Despair.
Yeah.
And it's modeled after it is the Titanic. It's
Really?
completely modeled after the Titanic. You can only go in certain parts of it, but
That's super. Can you find the car?
yeah. Yeah, there's an Easter egg that you
Uh.
can make the car fly.
Really?
Yeah. Very weird considering what happens in the movie in that car.
Yeah.
We were talking in Twitch chat yesterday, I believe, too, about cryptid stuff.
I was gonna bring that up. I was actually gonna say that would. I know. I've been kind of holding out on you guys a little bit. I have a friend that you guys have heard of, like the ghost flights of Appalachia, right? Uh, and supposedly it has to do with SWs. Not saying it because not drawing it to me of like
Mhm.
because it's all over the ranch and everything. You know, they'll see lights and stuff like that, and then they'll have the other weird stuff going on. I've been kind of holding out on you guys because I have a friend that said that just not far from where we are, where I live right, where we're at right now, that he knows of a place that like you will see lights and stuff like that, and that could be one of our sub goals theoretically. Just
I'm gonna go on a monster hunt.
Monster
I
Hunter
don't
Quest.
see. I don't want to screw around and like a disappear because of the government, or B disappear because of whatever we have pissed off
Speaking,
by trying to catch it.
speaking of disappearing because of the government, did y'all heard about the TikToker guy that went missing
We did talk about
because
that
he
on stream.
found
Allegedly.
he allegedly saw
he allegedly captured photos on his TikTok.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was photos on his TikTok
Mhm.
of a giant, pretty much.
On top of, it might not have. I think I said it on stream. It was Mount Rainier. I don't think it was Mount Rainier.
Oh yeah, I've heard that story. And then like a government helicopters came flying in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
and
he filmed those too. The helicopters coming in and everything.
then like the townspeople never saw the giant again or something like that.
No,
Uh,
they never saw
he
him
yeah,
again.
he disappeared.
He gone.
Well, so first he kept trying to go up where it was at, and he kept finding like black unmarked cars with people in suits. They'd be like, "Yeah, you need to turn around. You can't go up this road." He's like, "Why not? It's a public road." He said, he said, "Because I'm with the federal government. You need to turn around. I'm telling you to leave." So he would turn around and leave, and like he kept seeing black cars outside of his house, and like when he would go out to look at them, they'd speed off. And at one point, he is in his house being filmed by somebody we don't know, and he keeps like nervously looking around, like looking over to his right continually, and telling everyone the videos are fake. I made it up. It's edited. None of this
Mhm.
is real. Please stop questioning me. Please stop asking about it. And like people reached out to him and it's like, hey, we want you to come on our podcast and tell a story and tell your story. And he's like, it didn't happen. It's not real. There's no story. That's exactly what it is. It's a story. I made it up. And yeah, he disappeared.
You get that major Sissy Baka
Very much so.
vibes.
The government, allegedly, government might have had something to do with it. Allegedly, that's all I'm saying. Allegedly.
I mean, there have been a lot of stories that I've heard about giants being real.
Well, I mean, the Bible references giants were
Yeah,
real.
they're like
You know,
Nephilim. They're the crossbreed between angels and humans.
the sons of God and humans. Yes, it is very possible. You know, uh,
Oh no.
Also, I believe in that one of the big reasons that Noah that they flooded the earth.
part I think part of it was that it was mainly because man was so wicked and evil that God. And I mean, it says that God was ashamed of His creation and saw fit to destroy it because of how just upset he was of how evil man was. So that was the reason for flooding the planet. But I also think I think people think that was part of it as well. Of like that's a theory, not necessarily biblical, but it is biblical that they existed because there's also uh
Dragon.
it's referenced in the Bible. So are unicorns. One of the big theories with those types of things is have you guys heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, y'all know what they are specifically.
they're like original transcripts from the first Bible or biblical account.
Almost. The Dead Sea Scrolls were found in a cave in the Dead Sea, and like this kid accidentally stumbled upon them. And that's actually how we have a lot of biblical accounts as far as like biblical texts and things that support that the Bible is real. Is that a lot of the times they find like these transcripts, old transcripts of the Bible, and they are word for word, aside from maybe like punctuation errors here and there, but they're almost word for word exactly what the Bible currently says, like word for word. Um, while he was in there, he found a whole bunch of stuff in there. And of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I've got a book of it at home. I'll have to look through all of them. But one of the things they found was a transcript of the book of Isaiah. Almost, I think they said it is 95.9% accurate to the same exact Bible that we currently, right now in 2023, use and read. There's that, but there was also a whole bunch of other books that
We're not.
they're not in the Bible, but they're historical accounts from the time frame.
Yeah,
And one of them is called the Book of Giants. Now, I've never read it. I don't because I kind whenever I first found this book that I have that it talks about the Dead Sea Scrolls, uh, I wasn't quite ready to read that because I didn't want to kind of fall off down a rabbit hole and like go the opposite direction than I needed to go as far as studying and learning about the Bible. But now I'd be a little bit more comfortable reading into it. But it was historically at the time of what was going on, and it talks about you know
yeah.
Giant.
Nephilim.
the sons of angels and humans. Yeah.
Some of us may have descended from it. How do you explain explain Yao
How,
Ming.
I'm about to say, how do I explain how tall you are?
That too.
I don't know. I mean, that's also one of the theories of like where Bigfoot and all these cryptids come from is that it's descendants of that. So.
Speaking of which, so I think it's supposed to come around February the 1st. There is a comet or an asteroid, one or the other. I can't remember which one it is, but it's green, and so it's green, and a lot of the
A lot of cryptid sightings have been
there have been a
happening.
crap load
Yeah.
of cryptid sightings. So a lot of people are like, "This isn't actually a green asteroid. This is an alien ship."
I
I've
mean,
seen that theory pop up quite a lot.
yeah, you said that you've got a whole lot of that stuff like coming up on your like
Yeah, like on the
Google
Windows tab.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
your Google
I don't believe
news stuff.
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
Why?
One simple explanation: it's just Teddy Theodore Roosevelt.
You
He
know,
never
there's a
died.
there's a theory. Okay, so Yellowstone Park, first national park, right?
Yeah.
I think it's older than the National Park Service. I think that's how it goes. The National Park Service did not exist whenever it became a national park. Teddy Roosevelt is one of the people that established the National Park Services. There's a theory, and this is something we talked about a little bit on stream, missing 411 phenomena about people going missing in national parks and in the deep woods. There's a theory that the reason that the National Park Services were established was because our government knew that there are things in the deep woods and in our national forests. Because you got to think about it, these are like tens of thousands of acres of untouched land that people have never been to. And when people venture out in there, they disappear. Either they get lost, or one of the theories is that something takes them,
yeah,
kills them. They disappear. You know, they're gone. So the theory is that the National Park Service was put in place to protect people because there's things that are out there that we're not supposed to experience, that we're not supposed to see. And they stay away from us and we stay away from them. So that's the theory of why the National Park Service was established, and that our government knows about it, allegedly, and they just keep us away from it because if it got out, it would cause mass hysteria and panic.
Kind of like the SCP-1000, I believe. Isn't that the Bigfoot?
Yeah, SP-1000 Bigfoot.
Yeah, they basically what it is they try to stay away from humans, I believe, and if they get too close, then like the rest of their population will die out.
Yeah, because we're a mimetic hazard to the big feet.
Is that the is like we
Like the longer that I believe how it is the longer that they stay in touch with humankind, the less of them that they are,
really
because it affects them on a mental state
okay?
and makes them like return to monkey and de-evolutionize.
I was about to say so we're the mad cow disease to Bigfoot
Pretty much.
is what it says. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I've been really into like listening to that kind of stuff while I'm working. Of like, I love to listen to missing 411 cases. I love to listen to stories about like Bigfoot and other cryptids that I'm not going to say the name of because I don't want to. So I don't want to experience them. So Chase asked me last night on Twitch during stream. He was asking me, "What's the spookiest thing you've ever seen?" And I told him, I said, I've never really like tried to seek that kind of thing out. So knock on wood, I have never experienced anything like that, and I really don't want to because like I'm afraid of like what that would do to my mental state of like if I had a brush with a cryptid of like because it's one of those things like okay that wasn't real, that was most definitely real. Like I saw this thing because another one of them is Dog Man, which is kind of like a werewolf is basically of werewolves are real basically, but it
The skunk apes, which is just like a
yeah,
dirty Bigfoot
that's our
playing
Bigfoot.
around here,
That's the Florida Bigfoot.
and
There's another one for Louisiana. I can't remember what the name of it is though. It's got a weird name.
We just got some polecats down here.
Let me see if I can find the name of the one from Louisiana because I know I texted a guy and asked him about it. One of my friends that I work with, he's from Louisiana.
They got a lot of stuff in Louisiana.
Louisiana is just a wild place, man.
Black werewolves, vampires, black voodoo.
Okay, apparently I deleted that message also, so never mind. I can't tell you.
about calling them black vampires, didn't you? Blade.
Yeah.
And then we just got the
He's a
devil.
vampire, actually.
I was about to say we really don't have one in Mississippi other than
We have the devil.
We have a lot
We have
of
the literal devil.
yeah. That is kind of funny.
yeah.
Like on Route 66,
Yeah.
Clarksdale,
yeah,
Crossroads,
it's the crossroads where who was
Robert
it?
Johnson.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
Robert
someone
Johnson
supposedly
sold
sold
his
their
soul to
soul
the devil.
to Satan. I was about to say there's also a place not far from here that's a bridge that, like during the civil rights movement, that's where a lot of African American people were killed
Isn't that
and murdered. It might be. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to cut that word out that you said.
You're gonna have to cut out the place.
I'm gonna have to cut out the place you just said. But I can't remember. It's close by because there were people that we went to school with that they went there, and it's like it's a bridge that that a lot of people were murdered at, and supposedly you pull up to the bridge, blow your horn like 3 times, and then your engine shuts off, and like you can't like your car just won't crank anymore, and like you'll hear chains rattling and like weird stuff. You know
I've
what I'm
done
talking
that.
about?
I don't
We've
know
been
what you're
there.
talking about, but I know what you're talking about.
Me and Trevor and Tristan and Laura, we all went there.
Really?
We did it. Did nothing.
Nothing. Okay, all right, cool.
Literally nothing.
That good. That's good to know
This time.
this time.
We did see something run across from the road up into someone's like yard and then just disappear behind a truck.
Yeah,
And it was like some kind of like shadowy dog looking thing.
you might have saw a dog, man.
Yeah. So do you wanna say what your most spooky thing that you've seen is?
That's personal.
Every time I use the
about
bathroom,
to
it gets a little spooky.
I was about to say probably you coming out of the shower is the spookiest thing Tanner's ever seen, Jay.
You probably never seen that.
Do
So
you have one to tell?
I do. So a couple of months back, probably about a year ago now, I'll go after I get off work around like 12 or so whenever I'm driving home.
Wait, is this the one you told me about?
Yeah, this is one I was
The
talking
picture you took of the deer?
about. No, it wasn't. This wasn't the deer.
Okay.
This was a couple months back, and I was driving home from work, and whenever I got, it was probably like 12:30, and I'll go by the graveyard, just pay my respects and stuff.
Yeah.
So I walk through the front gate, and it has like a front gate, and you turn around, and then you close the little clasp on it behind you, so that the gate doesn't fling open. So I walk through it, and I turn around, and as soon as I turn around, I see a ghostly white horse gallop. I hear something hit the fence, hop over the fence, and I here's footsteps tap on through, and I'm like 95% sure it was a horse. 95% sure,
That's
which
so
is
weird.
literally an impossibility.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I was like,
Yeah, I
You
don't
know
think I'm
what?
going to the graveyard tonight.
I turned back around, opened up the gate, walked out, closed it, and got back in the car.
So this is recent.
That sounds
It
like a
was-
good
it was
time to
this
me.
year. Yeah, but that's not the creepiest part. That's not the creepiest part. Whenever I got into the car and turned on the radio, we always have on the rock station.
Yeah. 4 horsemen, 4 horsemen, 4 horsemen.
Mm-mm.
Dang it.
It was The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh.
And it was the first time I had ever heard that song on the rock
Dude,
station.
okay. They have started playing it on there.
I know they have,
Yeah.
but that's the first time I ever heard it on there.
Yeah.
And it was at like 12 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock at night right after I saw that crap.
Because I heard it the other day, and I was like, why is this on the rock station? I was like, I like the song, but why is it on the rock station?
Have you heard the
Dude, that's freaky.
Nickelback and I think 3 Doors Down maybe made a cover of it.
Yeah.
Like each individually. Also, another song that's kind of scary to me and Chase is "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
Yeah.
Bad crap always happens whenever we hear that song.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime I've heard that song, some absolute travesty happens next, like within the next month or two.
I'm trying to think, has that ever happened? I can't think of that. I don't think that's ever happened to me with that song. So anytime you hear that song, you just have to turn it, right?
I mean, you've already started to hear it, so
Yeah.
You either turn it or sing along with it.
that's why
Most
I
of
don't
the time I
listen to
sing along
music
with it.
anymore.
Because I don't know the words, so I just do the. That's kind of what I do. I don't know the
like,
words to the
it's
song.
funny because I know like a couple of lines in the song, and since it's such a consistent beat, you get them mixed up a lot.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's like scratching Scratch and turn, reburn, listen to yourself churn, listen to your own needs, listen to your heart bleed.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, but that might be literally a piece of the song from anywhere in it mixed next to another piece
No
of the
idea
song.
what verse that is.
That song's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
You can put any part of that song anywhere else in the song,
And it
and it
fits.
just makes sense
Yeah.
still.
Also, one other song that it was actually classified as one of like the scariest songs of all time, and it's very surprising, and it's called, and everybody definitely knows it. Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh yeah, that's a song
Blue
about death.
Oyster Cult.
That's a song about death.
Bach.
But it's not only because of the lyrics; it's because of like the way that the tone and the music changes
Yeah.
throughout it. It goes from like this like kind of upbeat to more of like a mysterious
Yeah.
down tone.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a song talking about a girl killing herself to be with her husband or lover or whatever. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a sad thought to it. And everything.
Also, 18 and Life to Go. That's based on a true story.
That is, yeah, that's one of my favorite. So used to, I had a different I know the meaning of the song, I know what happened, but I always had a different interpretation of it myself, especially whenever I hit the age of 18. But yes, that's about somebody accidentally shooting his friend. Yeah.
Wasn't there another? There was one more song, and there was like, oh, I can't remember. And it was about they found this girl's her body in like a water tank.
Oh,
It was like
yeah.
when the
Talking
dogs
about-
start sniffing or something.
I don't know what song it
The
is, but I know
dogs,
what you're
they
talking
found
about.
her. That song.
Yeah, that song.
I know what you're talking about. I think because that happened recently. That not. I mean, like I say recently, like 2015, right?
God, it
Or
was
16.
wow.
I think that's called By the Hair of the Dog.
Oh wait, but no, I was supposed to know Hair of the Dog by Nazareth.
I think so.
No, no, that's about something else.
Google it.
Heartbreaker, soul shaker. I've been
No,
told
that's not.
about you.
No, that's not it.
That's Hair of the Dog by Nazareth.
I think it has.
Wait, do that again.
By the dog, they found her.
But man, I can't remember what the name of that band is.
Hang on,
anymore.
hang on. Whenever you made that song, I'm almost there.
Dogs, they found her. It's time and time again. Waiting for tomorrow.
Oh goodness, it's a Pearl Jam song. Pearl Jam song. I know that much. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
By Pearl Jam. By Stone Temple.
Way the dogs have found her.
Got time here for tomorrow. Maybe that
And
is
they
STP.
found it.
Maybe that is STP. Find you. Is that Wicked Garden? No, it's not an Interstate Love Song.
Yeah, it's Wicked Garden.
I wanna run through your. That's about something else. Wanna drink from your naked fountain. I think we're mixing two songs together.
We are too.
One of them is By the Dogs They Found Her, though. That is a Pearl Jam song. I know it is. I know for a fact it is. There's another song that I think it's Pearl Jam has a cover of, that Tyler sings a lot, or used to sing a lot, and it's really like it's depressing. It's the one about and here we go talking about sad stuff again. It's the one about oh, what's the name of it, Chase? It's like the lyrics go, where oh where could my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I've got to be good so I can see my baby when I leave this world. What is the name of that song?
I don't even know if that's by Pearl Jam.
It's not. It's a cover. It's a cover. And what's so weird is like the original song is like from the 50s, and it's so like upbeat and happy sounding, and they're singing about literally one of the most depressing things
That's
I think
kind of
could
like
ever happen.
Enter Sandman. Well, not. Wait, hold on. Mr. Sandman.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the old one was like really.
Okay, yeah. Don't play that. Don't play that. Plush. Yeah. I don't think it's picking it up, but don't play that. Yeah. Okay.
We'll have to
Yeah.
listen. We'll have to listen to that one after.
Yeah.
I accidentally played the song whenever I
Excuse me.
clicked on it.
But also, so you know how 9 Inch Nails they originally wrote the
Hurt.
song "Hurt," right?
And then Johnny Cash covered it. Yes.
yeah.
And arguably did a much better job than the original band. Ironically.
Yeah. So when being interviewed, Nine Inch Nails, well, in the beginning, Johnny Cash, he was like given another chance to come back and rewrite, do stuff
Mhm.
again and be famous.
Right before
But
he
anyways,
died.
he
That's one of the last songs that he ever recorded too.
he died a few months later after that.
Yes, it was in 2003. My mom loves Johnny Cash, and by merit, Johnny Cash is one of my favorite like country artists. He is
Uh,
such an amazing
he is
singer
like
songwriter.
the only country artist I like.
Yeah, yeah, that's the last song he wrote, and
And
it's super sad and super fitting that that's what he goes out on. Of
and
it's oh
can
man, it
can
makes
you
me
look up
sad
can you look
whenever
up
I
the
listen to that song.
lead singer of Nine Inch Nails?
It makes me sad whenever I hear that song.
But anyways, let me so I can say it.
There's another one that he does with U2 that's really really sad to me. 'Cause I don't know what the song's about at all, but to me it sounds like uh he went to heaven and he's looking for someone like a friend that didn't make it.
Oh
So
yeah, I've heard that.
Trent Reznor.
Yeah, whenever Trent, whenever he was asked about Johnny Cash doing a cover of the song, he originally was like, "Yo, I can't. I'm not too sure about this. This is about my own personal insecurities."
yeah,
But then he eventually let up, and Johnny Cash didn't even want to do it at first. He
Rick
was
Rubin
they
convinced him to do it.
yeah they sent him like a disc, and it was like, okay, just listen to all these songs, and they sent him a disc like the same disc like 13 times
Yeah.
before he was like, okay,
Also,
listen to specifically number one on
yeah,
this track, and he was like, all right, I'll do it. And whenever he did it, and it became like a big hit success
yeah,
in like country music, and he was like, Trent was like, that's no longer my song, that's
yeah,
his.
yeah. The song I was talking about is called "The Wanderer," but another one that he
Me the wanderer,
not
I
no not
wander
yeah not
round,
that same
around,
song.
around, around.
Um, Rusty Cage is I'm pretty sure a
Yeah,
Soundgarden song that Johnny Cash covered
He did a lot
I
of
tell
cover
you,
songs in his
of
at
rock
his
songs
ending days.
I
of
think
rock songs.
I think like the best cover song I've ever seen or ever heard is Disturbed's take on
Sound of
The
Silence.
Sound of Silence.
They
I
made
think
that
that
song
one's the
5
best
minutes
one,
longer. Yeah.
but it's so good,
It
so
I
good.
think I kinda agree with you,
I like both of the
Chase.
songs.
Arguably, I think that Disturbed did a better job, arguably,
I mean,
than Simon& and Garfunkel.
honestly, Simon and Garfunkel, I think that song came out in like the late '60s
It
or
was, yeah.
something.
And then also, that's kinda like one of those it's kinda one of those situations of Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses of
Yeah.
everyone thinks that that is their song, but it's not. It's, Bob Dylan's, right?
Can't
Originally, I think
remember.
Bob Dylan originally sang that song wrote and sang that song, and
Like
Also, how the
the
house
house,
in the
yeah, the
rising
house of the
sun,
rising sun.
but it
yeah.
didn't come from him. It came from before. Well, the
Oh,
first
like The
recording.
Animals, right?
No,
No?
Well,
Bob
the
Dylan
animals
was
did sing it too.
the original. The first recording of it was from like 1920 something,
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
like
and it
these.
was by Leadbelly, which is like a really really old blues artist,
Mm.
and he was like one of the fathers of blues.
And that's not even the first time
Yeah,
that song was ever sung.
Really?
that song
That
dates
song
back
is,
before the
I think it's in like a Shakespeare play. It's like super old.
Really?
Yeah,
Or is it just like a poem from back then?
yeah, it was like a poem.
It was also a
Wow.
work. It was also a work song from the Civil War era.
I didn't know that. Crazy. I mean, I could see it being one of those songs, yeah. Like, just the tune to it and everything and what's talked about. Yeah, I could see that.
And that song is still popular today. Like even
I
Five
mean,
Finger Death
Five
Punch
Finger Death Punch did a
did it.
cover of it.
New pop artists have done covers of it.
One of our friends sang it in the talent show on ukulele and won. You remember that, Chase?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun little callback to a terrible time, but one of our best friends. Yeah. She did a phenomenal job. I think it's actually on YouTube too, the video of her doing it.
Might been a long time.
Because I think the
Was she
video's
sitting in the middle of like the gym?
yeah, not in the middle of the gym. She was on the stage.
Oh, she was on.
Yeah, she was on. Well,
I think I remember that, but I
we
could've
saw her
sworn.
at the talent show. I don't. No, we saw her the next day, didn't we? Whenever, because usually the winners of the talent show perform the next day at for the school.
Yeah, I could have swore
I
that.
think we saw both.
Yeah, yeah. I know we were there when she sang it.
I could have swore the person that sang it when I was there. I was like real younger. They were like maybe on like a violin, fiddle.
ukulele.
Yeah, she did it on a ukulele. If they did it on it wasn't her, it was violin. I vaguely remember. I don't remember who it was, but I do remember someone singing "Desperado" by the Eagles too, and that made me like that song a lot. That's a really good song.
Desperado.
Also, "The Rising Sun" is a very, very good song. Like,
It's all right.
I mean, you have to.
Good song.
There have been like many different takes and adaptations to it, but in the end, it's always going to be here. It's never going to fade from history.
It's one of
Or
those songs that
pop
it'll
culture.
it'll probably be 100. That song will outlive us all. Let's be honest.
Oh, there's a lot of songs.
Like Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody, I think, will outlive everybody.
There's
Arguably the greatest song ever written. Like I think that they took definite like I think Bohemian Rhapsody is the only song that like checks every box on like the perfect song or air quotes around perfect song. I think it checks every single box.
I got a bunch of weird songs in my YouTube playlist.
Yeah.
Songs.
You don't want to see mine, buddy. It's okay. This
Mine
is
are
a safe space.
yeah, mine are super weird. Like I have Caramel Dancing.
Come a little dancing.
Yeah,
That one's also in
yeah.
mine.
It's where she takes her hands and she goes like this right here.
That one's in mine too. That song's the sweetest song.
Yeah, I got Kimi no Toriko.
One of
That's
I have both the SAO and Demon Slayer intro in mine. Mainly the Demon Slayer intro because that song by itself just slaps. It's so good.
I got the song that Uncle Iroh sings about his son that died in the war too. Leaves from the Vine.
I think I know the song you're talking about.
Leaves from the vine. And I'm falling so slow.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have a super sad song because it's like in memory of his son, but it's also in memoriam of somebody that worked on Avatar that died.
Yeah.
I have a lot of meme songs.
Got that? I got Hey There Delilah.
Chase, the do you know that it used to be a Vine, but it's a clip that goes around and this guy's playing a game on his laptop and it's one of I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like VAO or VOA something like that. And you have to click to like the beat of a song, and it's a nightcore version of a song, and the guy's clicking it like he speeds up continuously, and then eventually him and his buddy get up and they're like dancing, doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I found that song. That's also in one of my rotations now because just because of the meme.
You should see the meme for guitar tabs for Through the Fire and the Flames.
I've seen them before, yeah.
It is hilarious. It's like the Star Wars credit, but with just numbers.
It is not. The riff is not difficult. The speed at which it is played is difficult.
That's kind of the same thing with Thunderstruck. It's
Yes.
literally not difficult at all. You just got to have the
Time
really
type
fast
on that.
movement speed.
And same with Back in Black. Back in Black is one that people get tripped up on. I think Sweet Home Alabama is too. It's a very simple riff and chord progression, but it's the speed and the tempo and timing at which it's played.
Also, Ghost, which is kind of a newer band. I
like Ghost. I know who Ghost is.
Yeah. Have you seen their live performance? And they were just like kind of guitar battling between each other, and then one of them just starts playing Sweet Home Alabama.
That's funny.
I got Thank You by Ditto too.
I did.
Remember that song?
No, I don't think so.
It's that song that's in the memes too. It's like yeah, the raindrops at my window.
I think I know what song you're talking about. Yeah.
I can't think it all. I don't remember the words to it.
We joined a stream. It was the stream that we rated last night. Doug, the gamer dad.
Yeah.
He does a little cool thing on stream of for like 1,000 channel points, you can redeem a karaoke song, and he'll sing a karaoke song. And he's got some really good songs on there. He's also doing a contest that like if you can guess what his favorite song on the list is, you get VIP for a month or something like that. And I'm trying so hard to figure out what it is, but yeah, it's pretty. He's got a really like a good list of songs on there, like a good mix of stuff. Like he's got "I Want It That Way" on there. He's got a bunch of like pop punk bands on there.
I Want It That Way will never be greater than when Terry Crews sang it in White Girls.
Did he sing that song in White Girls?
I believe it
Or
was
White
that
Chicks, my
song.
bad.
White Chicks, yeah.
I like
He sang the da-na-na-na-na-na, and I need you, da-na-na-na-na-na, and I miss you. I know he sang
Not
that.
the same song?
No.
Then he didn't sing that
No,
song.
no.
Then my
Did you
bad.
just ask if that was the same song?
Now,
Yeah, I
what
thought
you're
that was the
thinking
same
of,
song.
what you're thinking of, is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Of he doesn't sing it.
I really thought those songs were the same song.
No, 2 different songs. No,
And then you want to know what the top of my song list is?
what is it?
We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh my! Of course it
No.
is. Of course it is. It's you. Mine wouldn't. I don't think I've got any music in mind other than what y'all heard me listening to whenever y'all came in, which was like just Fall Out Boy, pretty much that and Panic! The Disco were the only things playing. But what is the recent stuff that I've been? I haven't really listened to a lot of music recently. I've been just listening to videos while I work.
I listen to a lot of music.
I mean, I love music. Music makes me very happy.
Wake up, listen to music.
There are some songs that I have on here that are specifically just because I've seen them in a meme.
Yes, same,
Like
same.
Daydream. Festivity. Night Dancer. I don't even think there are any words in Night Dancer. I'm pretty sure it's instrumental. We'll listen.
There's a song that I heard. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I think it's called. It was in some memes, but it was very like anime-ish sounding, and it doesn't have any words, and it's only like a minute and a half long. But I listened to it, and I'm like, this is pretty cool song. It's pretty hard.
We're gonna drop the link to my songs I don't know why I like playlist.
Dude, we should just make a playlist of that. Yeah, of songs that we don't know why we like them. They're just good.
Ricardo.
I also I also
Put
wish
the Ricardo meme one in there.
I also wish that we could do the like cursed song mashup.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I love that.
those are hilarious. Those are so good. I think my favorite one is "Coming Undone" by Korn and "Pony" by Genuine. I think that is my favorite mashup. Either that one or the All Star and In the End mashup. I think it's In the End.
Womp.
I like the one by the beach. It's like the song from the Beach Boys and
But it's
Apple Bottom Jeans. Yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite version. Okay, so the first one I saw of that was the Beatles. Apple Bottom Jeans by the Beatles was the first one, and I thought that one was hilarious. My favorite one though is the Beach Boys one.
Yeah, that one is good.
They've also got one that's that's Feliz Navidad, and there was a group on TikTok that like it was like 4 guys and or it might have been 5, and they just go and sing covers. They sang that song. That was like their
Feliz
closing song,
Navidad.
but to the tune. But
I don't know the rest
it
of
was
that
Apple Bottom
song.
Jeans instead of Feliz Navidad. It's pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Mind Turtle for 10
I
hours.
also have that song that he listened to by Joji.
Yeah.
On here, I have "Threw It on the Ground" by Lonely Island.
And I threw it on the ground.
By the way, the Lonely Island, that exact video has 122 million views.
Dang, yeah. It amazes me at how many views some of these songs get, because like there was a Fall Out Boy song that I think has 134 million views, and I was just like,
Yo.
how do we get there? How do we do it? I guess we have to write a hit song, huh?
Oh, I got you.
Threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
We got to come up with some very, very stupid and
Catchy lyric.
yeah.
Fairly Well.
What rhymes with NyQuil?
Yeah, Dyke will.
I thought about
what
another
rhymes
one, but I
with
can't say
orange?
it.
Door hinge.
That's exactly right.
That's what my boy Eminem said anyway.
You got it. You get to reference. All right, we can stay friends, Tanner. You're allowed to be on the podcast for another week. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, Mike Tyson. He told me the other day that Mike Tyson is in a wheelchair. Bad
Why?
news.
He's been spotted in a wheelchair in like
Why?
a couple places. He's just having back problems. He broke his back whenever he was younger.
I mean, yeah, that'll do it to you.
And
That'll do it to you.
That's sad.
Speaking of
Who
Mike
was that
Tyson,
boy?
I still wouldn't try to fight him, even
No.
if he was in a wheelchair.
no, absolutely not.
the man's like that man's gonna pull a Guy Lee from Naruto in Boruto. He gets revived in Naruto, the last thing.
Yeah.
From like almost near death. And he like all the bones in his body are pretty much broken,
Yeah.
basically. And now he's stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's Mike Tyson now.
Good lord.
That's gonna be Mike Tyson.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, have you guys heard about the new? And the reason I bring it up, and you'll see how it ties back into Mike Tyson. Have you guys heard about the HBO Max show, Velma?
Yeah.
Have either of you seen it?
I've heard
I
it was horrible.
It is
hate
the lowest rated television show ever. You want to know what ranks above it?
Is it the Mike Tyson Memory Crew or whatever it is?
No, like which? No. That is not the show that ties in. It ties back to that though, not the work. The show Velma ties back to that show. Just put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it in a minute. No, I'm saying it's the number one lowest rated show on IMDb, or lowest thing on IMDb. You want to take a guess what number 2 is?
I have no idea.
Dragon Ball Evolution, the live action Dragon Ball Z movie that we don't talk about, that does not exist.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that Velma rating down to below that, guys. Let's go.
It is. It's number 1.
It's below it?
It's below. Dragon Ball Evolution has a 2.3 rating. Velma has a 1.3.
Let's keep it there.
So
they tried to sell out to like the public.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they tried to do what other companies are doing, which
Yeah.
is rightfully so, and they tried to expand to fit different audiences,
Yes.
but they
When
did
you
it in
watch
such a poor way.
Who is it for though? Who is it for? Because people, like, it's universally hated. Like, Scooby Doo fans hate it. It's not for kids. I know that. Me and Emily watched all 4 or the first 4 episodes. I think the 5th episode's out. But Scooby Doo fans are mad. Other people are just mad. I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny actually. There are a few jokes that stick out. You said you haven't seen it, right, Chase?
No, I'm not gonna watch it. Either.
It's got some decent humor, but for the most part, it is. Okay, so Mindy Kaling, right? She is the creator of the show. She was in The Office. That was, I think, one of her biggest roles was she was on The Office. She went to Warner Brothers, and she pitched the idea of she wanted a show about her solving mysteries. It was the template she had was the Mike Tyson show. She wanted to do that, right? Warner Brothers loved the idea. From what I understand, this is like what everyone in comments on all these videos are talking about. That this is what they were talking about. This is their theory on it. Is that's what she wanted to do. Warner Brothers loved the idea of it, but they said it can't be you. We want you to take one of our established IPs and use it. So she chose Scooby-Doo.
Isn't Scooby not even a dog?
He's not. Scooby's not even in the show at all. Yeah.
I thought it was a person.
Nope. He's not even in there.
But I thought it was going to be just a regular person.
Maybe, I don't know. We haven't got that far yet. Now, I will say this, and the only reason I am defending the show, the only reason I say that I like it, is that to me, it's in the same vein as Godzilla 98, okay? Or American Godzilla. His nickname is Gino. Godzilla in name only. It's not the same Godzilla. Godzilla is Toho. If Toho creates or has a movie, it's Godzilla. If anybody else makes a Godzilla movie, it's not Godzilla. So while he has the name Godzilla, it has nothing to do with the Toho universe. Now, they do bring the likeness of the American Godzilla to Toho's Godzilla, and he's just a character named Zilla. He's not Godzilla. He's just Zilla. He's another monster.
Sounds like a place to sell houses on the internet.
Zillow, yeah. Zilla. It's how we would say it. You on Zilla? Trying to find your new house? Anyway, but to me, that's the same thing of, yeah, it's a person named Velma, and it looks like Velma from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's a person that looks like Daphne and is named Daphne, but to me, it's not the same show. It has nothing to, in my mind, I separate it and compartmentalize it of this is not Scooby-Doo, this is something else. They just so happen to have the same name.
Is it true that they really crapped on Fred?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, Fred Fred is like a man child.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like he can't do anything for himself.
How they gonna
Legitimately.
do that after they do that Scooby Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Or
That one was
how would
awesome,
how would
dude.
they do it whenever they did Mystery Inc. and like Fred is borderline a genius as far as like doing traps and everything. Of he's a really good person and like really awesome in Mystery Inc. All of them are really great in Mystery Inc., which is supposed to be the origin story of everybody. And excuse me, and now it's this. So I'll run you through it. Yeah, Fred is a man child that can't do anything for himself. Velma is like the most unlikable human ever. Like she judges literally everybody and is a know-it-all about everything and is just like mean to everybody, regardless if they're nice to her or not. Um, Daphne seems to be devoid of personality. Her whole shtick is that she's adopted in this one, so she's trying to find her birth parent, but that doesn't come up until like episode 3 or 4, I think, is whenever they talk about that. No, it's episode 2. Never mind, it's episode 2 that they talk about it. Um, but then and Shaggy is just a simp. And when I say simp, I mean legitimately. I'm not just saying that to say it. Like he wants to be with Velma so bad, but Velma, like whenever he confesses feelings for her, she laughs in his face. And it's like, and when I say like, he literally tries to model his personality after. Okay, so oh wow, we're just gonna unpack the whole thing here, huh? Velma and Daphne kiss at the end of the second episode, and she kind of likes Daphne, but she's not sure how she truly feels. So Shaggy tries, and he's not named Shaggy. Let me rephrase that. His name's Norval, which is his actual name. He he doesn't get the name Shaggy. He's not called Shaggy. He's called Norval. So Norval starts modeling his personality or trying to model his personality after Daphne, so Velma will like him. And I'm not saying Sim's like, oh, he likes the girl and is doing nice things for her, so he's a simp. No, legitimately, like he's willing he's willing to sell a kidney. Like literally, that's a plot thing of he's going to sell his kidney to get money to give to Velma because she needed money. That's not healthy. That's not okay. All right.
Yeah, that's not good rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. So that's all 4 of them in a nutshell. Yes, the show's terrible, but to me, it's not Scooby Doo characters, so I don't care.
I need both of my kidneys. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
uh,
I'm not giving up my kidney for you. I'm sorry.
I have way too much.
Now, granted, if it was my wife, like if Emily needed a kidney and I was a match, yeah, I'd give my kidney up, but I wouldn't just give my kidney up if she wanted to buy something. It's like, no, I'm not selling my kidney for you to have this. No.
I'd probably give someone my liver.
I mean, you could give them half of your liver.
Nope, whole thing.
It'll grow back. You have half of it.
You will no longer be a liver if you give away your whole liver.
Okay.
You'll no longer be a liver.
Sell my leg as a prosthetic.
I'm not sure that's how that works, buddy. I don't think that's how it works.
Better than building a new one.
First you take your leg and you stick it in the air. That's all I can think of anytime you talk about legs. Goodness gracious. Oh man. But I think it's funny kind of sometimes. Like there's only like wow. It sounds really bad. There's like 1 or 2 jokes that stick out in my head that's kind of funny. And also like character consistency kind of doesn't really exist in this one. Of 1 minute a character's like this, but then the next because the plot requires it, and then the next minute they're a little bit different. So yeah, yeah, no, it would not recommend. Would not recommend. I give it a solid like 4 or 5. It's got a few jokes in it that I genuinely found kind of funny, but other than that, nah.
I give it a -3 because it's a ripoff of Scooby Doo.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They really should, instead of changing stories like that, just make a new one.
Well, see, that's what she tried to do. She tried to make a new one, and Warner Brothers shut her down.
Yeah, it's like, but it's
Just let her make her
Yeah.
show. Like that's the best thing to do. Just let her. I feel like people wouldn't have been as angry if it wasn't the Scooby Doo IP,
yeah.
or at least the fans of Scooby Doo wouldn't have been upset about it. I mean, people might still would be lashing out and be upset, but hey, what do I know? You know, just a guy trying to do content creation himself. So yeah, we know how hard it is. Zoom in on my face, put a little teardrop down if I can. I don't know. I'll try and do that.
Yeah, I'm just one of those people. I like the originals.
Yeah.
That's for the same thing, for anything. Like, I'd rather somebody make something new and unique than
Just
copy
rehash
pasta over
or
something.
oh boy, yeah, no, I have something to say. Ooh, I have something to say about that kind of thing,
Mhm.
but I'm saving it because it's for season 2 of Blind Review. It's for season 2 of Blind Review. I have not even me and Sims know what it's gonna be. Tyler, I think we told him, but he doesn't remember, I guarantee you. And, I'm gonna keep it that way. We're gonna keep it to ourselves. Or we might just do a, like, we might take a break from Marvel and let Sims do his because it's a movie Sims hasn't seen, and I'm so excited.
What is it?
I'm not telling you.
Is it Star Wars?
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not
Someone
gonna
tell
say
me it's
anything.
Star Wars.
I'm not saying anything. Season 2 of it, which, like I said, I don't know, we might take a break. That'd be really funny. Season 1 is the MCU, season 2 is season 2, and then we go back to season 1. I guess what we could do is we could just do, like, phase 1 is of the MCU is season 1, and then season 2 is whatever, and then we can do phase 2. 'Cause phase 1, we're at the end of phase 1, aren't we? With the Avengers?
I have no idea.
The Avengers is the end of phase 1,
Bro, I
pretty
have
much,
no
isn't it?
idea. I don't keep track of that anymore.
I'll have to ask them. Oh, yeah, I forgot you don't like those movies. I keep forgetting you guys don't like the Marvel movies, like, at all. Like you guys are just haters of the Marvel, of the
X-Men
MCU.
X-Men are alright.
Speaking of the MCU, did you hear about Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye?
Oh, yeah, he got into a
Yeah, he was
car
in like
crash.
he was like he had like a snowplow or something running into
Oh,
him,
yeah.
and he was like in the hospital
Oh,
for like a
goodness.
long time.
I didn't know
It
about
did
that.
like serious damage to him.
Oh, man, so we might not have him as Hawkeye anymore, huh?
Yep, probably have to go to his daughter, as
Oh,
they've
man.
already established.
Ah. Is it
Didn't
the same guy that's Hawkeye in Thor?
Yeah,
Okay. I wasn't sure because I
Apparently,
haven't seen the other movies. I wasn't sure if he was a consistent actor because I know that like Rhodey changes between the first and second movie, changes actors.
it does, doesn't he?
I believe so.
pointing out the point that people aren't creative anymore. They have no original ideas.
No, they don't. It very much so.
They just go with the public's opinion.
Oh no, I mean that's the easiest way. Just go with what everybody wants. You know,
And then it comes out terrible. Velma.
because you didn't put thought into it. You know, you just blindly followed what you think everybody wants instead of trying to make something creative and different. But sadly, I mean, it's kinda the same way in content creation of, if you don't clickbait your titles, you're not gonna get clicks. It's like you hate to clickbait, but, you know,
Eh,
you don't have an
whatever.
interesting thumbnail, people aren't gonna click on it, regardless of how quality the content is.
Everybody gotta be down to clowns, son.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you've taken over making our thumbnails, Tanner.
Yeah. Mine are flashy.
Huh?
Mine are
Yeah,
flashy.
they are, they're really good, like, you do a great job with all of our thumbnails. I love your work. We're probably will soon begin working on our banner as well, so we're excited for that.
Actually, I brung over a little thing so we can start on the photo shoot.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, Chase, so, like, how's, you wanna tell him what I accidentally did to you?
Oh yeah, he finished editing and
Uploaded.
uploaded
Yeah,
a video that I had already been working on.
yeah. Part 3 of, Halo Reach, you can go check that out. I'll go ahead and put that in the cards, like, right now. Uh,
Right?
uh, Chase had been working off and on part 3 for, like, a week or 2, just whenever he had time. And, I filmed or I didn't film it, we already filmed it. I edited it and uploaded it, and he was like, "Hey, yo, I was working on that one." I was like like, in my brain, I swore up and down. I gave Chase episode 3 and 4 because we did it all in one take, or in all in one recording session, so he had to have the video to work on, and I told him, I said, "Hey, look, I'll work on part 3, you work on part 4." I swear in my head I said that. I said, "I'll work on part 3, you and Tanner work on part 4." And, apparently, either I didn't say that or it got lost in translation or lost in communication.
I'm not. I'm having a bad time with the editors. I really need to
see,
find one that I like.
You're using OBS. I didn't even know you could edit with OBS.
I'm not even sure if I was actually using OBS. That's the bad part.
Did it look like this?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Chase. Yeah, I mean, I think the best editing software is Adobe Premiere. Is like the best editing software, but paid service, so you have to pay for a license for it, and the one I use is free, so it's just easier to use. The other one is Final Cut, but that's the Apple only one, so you'd have to have like a MacBook or something like that. A lot of people love to use Final Cut, but
One that I was looking at, I remembered what the name of it was. It's
What
called
was
Filmora.
Filmora.
That one's pretty good because I was using it whenever I had the my other laptop.
Yeah. What'd you find?
I was looking at the short that popped up when I went to our channel. I was gonna see how many views the new Halo video had,
Yeah.
and it was just I saw Sim's face going, and then him spin around like
That, oh my gosh, that killed me. Whenever Sim sent that to me, like that's the edited down bit, but like I watched him literally go. And I saw that and I died. I paused the video. I texted him back. I said, the spin killed me. Like, absolutely killed me whenever I saw him go.
It was like that time that I
I
did
was
that
just
to
about
Tyler.
to say it. I was just about to say that. Go ahead.
That was that hot. I feel hot, sticky, sweet. What song is that?
Pour some sugar on me.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I got Tyler good with that one.
We were going somewhere, and that was in my car.
Yeah,
that was in the Cutlass. That was not in my
Mhm.
truck. And we're sitting there, and that song comes on, and it gets over to the chorus, and Chase is in the front seat, Tyler's in the back seat, and Chase just goes, "I'm hot, sticky, sweet," and like turns and looks at Tyler like that as he's singing the song. And I think we almost crashed that night because of that. I still stand by. I think the hardest I've ever laughed, especially while driving, was whenever you and Austin played Yoda by Weird Al Yankovic, and I literally had to pull over in our school parking lot to laugh because I was laughing so hard. I thought that I was going to kill us.
Didn't y'all also drop someone out at a stop sign?
That was
and
Austin.
then leave?
Yeah, that
That
was
was
Austin.
Austin. And almost got pulled over that night because of that.
Feel funny.
Oh, it was hilarious because him and Cade both had a bad habit of we'd get to a stop sign and they both would jump out. And then I'm stuck there waiting at the stop sign for them to decide to get back in the car. And one night I just had enough of it. And that was on Halloween too. That was whenever we went to the rich neighborhood to go trick or treating.
The rich neighborhood.
Second word I have to cut because you said a place.
God.
I didn't write those down.
Bleep it out. Bleep it out.
I didn't write down where you. Oh no, I got it. I can take care of that.
Have you seen that the place that we went to prom at turned into a church?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a church now.
I'll have to go by. I didn't realize that.
I didn't until the other day whenever I was driving to
Yeah,
go
it
pick up my mom.
It used to be like a wedding venue and
Talking
like,
about over there in
Yeah, over there
On that place, on that road,
on that road that has a funny
on
name.
that Milk Road,
Yeah, the Milk Road.
Plant Milk Road. What his
potato
name is.
trees.
Anyway, yeah, that night we were going to take Austin home, and I think it was you, Austin, myself, and was Sims with us?
I think Peyton was.
I think it was Sims. And two things happened that night. Two things happened that night. So the first thing, no, that was a different night because no, it was the same night. No, that was two different nights.
Yeah, that was a different.
It was
night.
two different nights. Well, okay. Anyway,
That might have been 2 different years.
it might have been, but we were taking Austin home on Halloween night, and we're driving. We stop at the stop sign. Austin jumps out and runs off, and I'd had enough of it at this point. So I put it in drive and just drove off, and left him standing there at the church. So we go down the road just a little bit, and like we're all laughing and everything. And then I turn back around, I go back in, and I park. There's a church over by where the stop sign is, and I park at the church. And Austin comes and gets back in the car, and we go and we take off. Well, about the time Austin gets back in the car and we're backing out, a police officer drives by
Mhm.
and like sees us and slows down. and we get on and we just start driving, and he's tailing us, like, hardcore tailing us, and we're driving, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, and I mean, like, he's, like, right on my bumper. I was like, he's gonna pull us over. I know he is. He's gonna pull us over and say something stupid of like, "What you gotta do and run around, in the middle of the night and everything like that," and like, or like do that classic police officer thing of they ask you a question, you answer, and then they're like, "What do you mean by that?" You know what I mean by that. Stop asking me that. Uh, that's a whole nother rant. I'll get into that. I've got another rant for that. Anyway, anyway, uh, and we pull off and we go and everything, and eventually we take a right, he takes a left and leaves, and we go and we drop Austin off. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, and like he ran my tag because one of our friends
Scared me.
one of our friends' moms was a dispatcher, and she ran the tag for him. And I was like, "Oh, nah, he's fine," because they were looking to see if I had like a warrant or anything for that. But yeah, that's one of those things though that the cops around here will do that really really aggravate me. Is like they'll ask you a question, you'll give them an answer, and like, "What do you mean by that?" It's like, "What do you think? I mean exactly what I said." And like one of the biggest case in point was like whenever Emily had the wreck, not long after we got together, I went and was talking to one of the state troopers, and I support our law enforcement. They have a tough job. Um, I'm all about that. But good lord, sometimes they just really really make me mad. Uh, so I go up to him and I ask him, I said, "Hey, the girl that was in the wreck, she's my girlfriend. Am I good to like take her off and everything?" And he said, "Take her off? What do you mean by that?" I was like, "Take her home." And he said, "Oh, no, she needs to wait for a few more minutes." I was like, "Okay," because I think he still had, like, her license and insurance card and everything, and we were waiting to get that back, and I was like, "Of course you know what I meant. Why would you ask that?" Okay, so the other story I have, I've been saving this for a podcast. This made me so mad the other night. Alright, so me and Emily went to the city near us, the large one.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about?
Stop. We were driving back home, driving down the interstate.
Just put the Tolarian Academy bleeps over it.
Urza, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Ulamog, Emrakul. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Um, so we're driving back home. We're coming back home, having a good time. There's a car to my right, and there's another car to my right, and I'm in the fast lane. I'm driving, and I'm going about 7. All right. So this car, there's a car beside me, a car in front of me to my right, and then there's another car to my right behind that other car. That car whips over behind me and rides my bumper. I'm going 70, mind you. I mean, he is like right on my bumper. And I'm driving and I'm just like, okay, this guy wants to pass me. I don't want to hold him up. I'm going to like speed up a little bit and get over so he can go on around me. So I hit about 80. I was speeding. But and you might would say, well, Jake, you were speeding, you were breaking the law. I've always been told by every police officer I've ever asked, they said if you want to pass somebody, you're not supposed to speed, but just get around them as fast as you can and get back over and don't speed and, slow back down like you're supposed to and you should be fine. I mean, I've been to driving school because I got a speeding ticket one time. And that's literally what the guy told me. He said, "You're not supposed to speed when you pass, but if it's safe to do so and you have to speed a little bit, go on around them, move over and just go back to normal." So I hit 80. And I think I ended up hitting about 85. I get on past the car that was in front of me. I signal and I move over. This person that was on my bumper stayed on my bumper whole time. Whole time. The second I start merging, he kicks the blue lights on.
Yep.
He was riding my tail doing 70, riding my tail doing 85. When I move over so he can pass me, he flicks his lights on.
That's what I do.
And I told Emily, I wish he would have pulled me over. I would have made a fool of myself that night. That made me so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? You're going to tailgate me the entire ride, going 70, going 80. And whenever I move over to get out of your way so that you don't run me over, you blue light me? Are you kidding me?
Should have slowed it on down.
Brake check.
No, then he definitely would have blue lighted me. But I was honestly this close. I wanted to call the police legitimately and say, "Hey, look, one of your officers, is traveling this road and going this direction, and I'm not gonna lie, I was speeding, but he was tailgating me the entire time. And whenever I moved over, he flashed his blue lights and then kept driving much faster. And you couldn't even lie and say that they were on a call going somewhere because he didn't keep his blue lights on as soon as he got past me. Can you take that? Okay, cool. No, that infuriated me whenever that happened. But yeah, I'm all good now. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I got 2 funny stories about the cop. One about a week ago, and then one last night whenever I was coming home.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. So last night I had eaten something, and it had made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And I still had to go through town to pick up my mom because she didn't have a ride. She was like sitting out in the cold, and she was like, "Hurry up!" I was like, I was sick to my stomach at the store that I stopped at.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." So I got in my truck and I drove. I was hauling, but
Yeah.
because I was trying to make it somewhere else before I
Threw
painted
up
the
or
seats
whatever.
brown. You know what I'm
Oh, okay,
saying?
yeah.
And I was going fast, and this cop just blue lights me, and I'm like, "Oh well, time to go take a dookie in front of this cop, so let me away."
He's gonna
And
regret stopping you.
yeah, he's gonna regret this. And and then I turned off on the exit because he was sitting right before the exit,
Yeah.
which I don't even think they're supposed to be able to do. I don't think they're supposed to be able to sit on the exit,
I don't know.
but he was faced the wrong way too. And it's like,
Got him.
sucks for you,
Got
homie.
him.
And then, yeah, that was one of them. And then, probably about a week ago, I was going to pick up my mom from work, and I see this car come flying through a four-way with the red light on,
Mhm.
and a cop is sitting on the other side of it. I'm like, "There ain't no way that cop ain't finna go get that guy for doing that."
Did he just let him go?
Yeah, he just
Dude.
turned left and went somewhere. He didn't have his lights on. It wasn't an emergency for him or anything. He just let the guy go.
Me and Emily were in town the other day, and we saw one of he flipped his blue lights on, went around somebody into the turn lane, I think, and then went on around them and then kept going and then cut his blue lights off. I was just like, "Dude, you can't just do that."
Yeah, you cannot do that.
It's like and that really aggravates me. And I mean, like ambulance drivers will do it too,
They're
just to get through an intersection. I'm like, "Dude, you can't do that." Like, really?
I don't even think they're supposed to be allowed to sit in like a public uh space, like in a school parking lot
Yeah.
or like a church parking lot. I don't even think they're supposed to be able to do that. But you see people do it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of the time, especially around here. But I mean, like I said, I support our police officers, but I think our police forces are in desperate need of like reform and
In other words, do better.
yes, like straight, just be a better person, do
There
better.
there are so many people that I know right now that should totally 1000% be in jail.
Yeah.
That are just walking free
Yeah.
because they ratted on somebody to get out of their jail time.
Yeah.
And then there are people that totally do not deserve to be in there that are in there for
Yeah.
like a long time.
Yeah, yeah, it's a mess. We don't have to go into all that stuff, but yeah, yeah, there's a big problem with that, especially like not just here, but like just in our country in general. But yeah, we won't get into talking about that. We're not we're here for positive things to discuss.
Except for not this podcast.
Yeah, except not this podcast. We've been real like talking about sad stuff and things that upset us. But legitimately though, I think that one of the sub goals we could theoretically try and go monster hunting or cryptid hunting.
Go spookums hunting.
We were supposed to go to the Clarksdale Crossroads.
I did want to do that. Maybe we could do that for like a vlog.
Yeah.
We could all just take our vacation off together.
Yeah.
And go
We could do that on
go up through around Mississippi.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember you said that it was like some places up there like there.
Yeah, I'm not
That-
gonna
that you
give
had, like,
I'm
a
not gonna
plan.
give our exact route. That seems like a poor decision.
I mean, they wouldn't know when we would go.
Boy, they're gonna triangulate our location
Yeah.
based off of that.
You'd be surprised at how it is to find stuff like that. It's scary, actually, to find information on where people live and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be like if I gave if I was literally like a triangle around stuff. It's like, oh, so you live somewhere in this part of
vicinity. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
this part of the
Yeah,
state.
don't dox us, Chase. Don't accidentally dox us.
Kind of like people finding Minecraft.
they're finding Minecraft seeds in real life.
Dude, there's this app. I can't remember what it's called. It's a freaky app. It gives you coordinates
I've
of
seen
of
that.
a
Yeah.
place like near where you live, and you just go there. If it's supposed to be like interesting things, but the person giving you the coordinates knows the coordinates, so they could literally just kidnap or murder you.
I used to have that down.
And I watched a guy and his friends go to this place, and almost like they heard a bear. Like there was a bear around where they were at, and like they kept hearing it like in the woods near them, and they're like, "All right, yeah, I think we need to get out of here."
I downloaded an app like that a while back, but I had to pay for it. So
I would no, absolutely not.
like
That's
it
a
let me
terrible
it
app,
let me
y'all.
use it a few times, but then it was like, hey, you need to get premium. I'm like,
Nah.
no.
Did you actually go to any of the places?
You don't need to play.
Smart man, smart man.
See if I can find it.
I look like someone that's crazy. Well,
You
a little
remember,
bit.
Chase? You remember how on stream last night I told you that me and Emily heard some like really weird sounds outside of our house the other
My
day?
bad.
That,
And
Oh, sorry
that
about
was
that.
during the day.
Sorry about
That was the last time we were here.
no. Like it was like me and Emily took the dogs out and we heard a sound in the woods, and it turned out to be a fox. It's mating season for fox,
that.
and
I want a fox. Like, I would just want to like a little baby fox.
you want an actual pet fox? Yeah. Hey, you might
Are
could go,
they?
you might could go find one out. I mean, out behind the house somewhere.
Randonautica. What
That's what it's called. Yeah, Randonautica. That's it. But
They're- Are they legal to own around here?
I think so. You can.
Well, I want a pet big cat.
No.
Any one of the
You
big
want
cats. Dude,
No.
I seen somebody raise a panther, and
Why?
I want a fucking panther,
Why would
bro.
you want that?
Because it's a fucking panther, and it looks awesome.
I want an alligator.
I mean, just go to Florida and pull one out of the water.
Have you ever seen like that albino alligator that's like,
Yeah.
and he like pets it and it smiles?
Yeah.
That's so adorable.
So, but yeah, we heard those sounds, and I didn't know what it was like at all. And like we came inside, and you could still hear it from inside. But like I said, it turns out it was fox, or it might have been coyotes because it's also mating season for coyotes. And like they'll mating call, and sometimes dogs will go out to them because they think it's a mating call, and then like get attacked by coyotes. But I was standing at the door, and I told Emily, I said, "I don't know what that sound is. Let's go. Hey, let's go see if we can figure out what it is." And then she was like, "No." I said, "I'm just kidding. I'm not that white."
Did you at least, don't you own a gun?
Yes.
Did you take it with you?
Still, we didn't go outside and hunt. Dude, I
That's
just said I'm not that white.
I mean, you should at least walk around your house,
Heck no.
bruh.
I ain't messing around with that.
Shame on
I
you,
know
boy.
better.
Shame on you.
Go inside, shut the door, lock it. If
Yeah.
it gets in the house or comes knocking on the door, then you shoot at it.
Something you need to learn from us kids is there ain't nothing that can take care of the devil better than a 12 gauge shotgun.
Walk out with a shotgun in one hand, a Bible in the other.
That gets it done.
The shotgun
the-
protects you from people. The Bible protects you from demons.
I was like,
Throw the shotgun at the demons for reading the Bible.
Called a sword for a reason, man.
I heard this thing is like reasons why your country would probably never be able to invade the U.S. And it was like number one, they have like rednecks
We
all
have
around
more
their
guns
country.
than people.
Yeah,
We- our
they have more guns than people, and there have been rednecks over in the south of their country just waiting for something like that to happen for literally centuries.
Years after World War II happened, uh, they were talking with like Japanese generals and everything after the war, and they questioned, how come they never even considered invading the U.S. via California or the border around there, like trying to attack the U.S. And the generals literally said the reason that they did not was because they knew that most Americans owned a firearm and would be able to fight back just via local militia.
Another thing is we have like the most diverse like geography out of any other country. We have like
I just learned this.
we have like
And
forests. We have
every
deserts,
single
mountains. Yeah,
biome in the world,
we
in
got
our
a whole
country.
motherfucking Minecraft seed over here.
Yeah, we got the best Minecraft seed. Or we bought all the best parts of a Minecraft seed.
And
We didn't buy all the Minecraft.
We stole a lot of it.
We stole and bought a lot of it. Actually, it was all
Mainly
stolen.
stolen.
It was all stolen and then later bought. Because obviously we stole what we already had. Then we bought what Napoleon, or what the French had stolen.
Louisiana?
Yeah, the Louisiana Purchase. The entire Louisiana territory. I don't know if you guys remember that video.
I'd just like to say that I'm pretty sure most of the people in this country agree that we stole most of this.
Yeah, no, we did. Like, absolutely. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, yeah, all of our land is stolen.
But then they kind of, the people we stole it from kind of shagged their way into all of our family trees.
I mean,
Most of ours.
especially, where we're from, there's a lot of people that are Native American.
I mean,
Aren't y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That's
Native
like-
American Irish. That's why we have dark hair and red
I
beard.
was about to say, I don't
Yeah.
think, I think I'm like Irish, German, and probably English. I'm just white.
Get that Indian
White-
hair and
white.
red beards.
I'm as white as they come, I'm pretty sure. Like, Emily wants me to take a DNA test so bad, or like do 23andMe or Ancestry, and I don't want to pay $50 for it to say, oh bro, you white. Like, you're not even white, you neon white. I don't, I know that.
100% white.
Yep, like that. I know that's what if it comes back and I am like half native? That would be great. Like I would be shocked because like I don't have the complexion for it at
90
all.
99.9% African American.
I would be shocked. Very. I mean, look at me. Look at me.
You're so Native American that you're inbred. I need to tell you this.
I do have blue eyes. I mean, that is a byproduct of inbreeding, of like years of inbreeding.
I wouldn't say that.
Dude, that's like thousands of years back.
Mhm.
Thousands of years back. Because it's a genetic anomaly. Because it's actually not preferred because I can't look at light like you guys can. Because you guys have darker eyes. Like, it hurts my eyes. But I can see better in the dark.
You'll also go blind quicker than me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Our
dark
dad-
vision.
Our dad has blue eyes. And
Really?
Our grandpa. Yeah, both of
I
them.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Granny
dark
also
vision.
have blue eyes? Doesn't Granny also have blue eyes?
I don't know. I ain't looking into our grandmother's eyes. That sounds kind of weird.
Why would you look into our dad's eyes? That's a little bit worse.
I just. Nuh-uh. I think I'd rather sleep with my dad than I would my grandmother.
Yeah,
If I had to choose.
All right. That's about as bad as that frigging. I saw a dude do a prank call, and he pretends that he's from a radio station, and that they put the person's name in for a chance to win something, and he asks them like questions like that.
I heard a
It's,
crazy would you rather the other day that this guy was asking. He asked this girl, would you rather watch your parents?
He
have
said that he
kids.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
He asked this girl
Or,
that.
yeah, would you rather watch your parents do the deed for the rest of your life or join in one time to stop it?
That is, yeah. He asked. He told this girl, said that she could win tickets to Morgan Wallen. All she had to do was answer this question. It was that same exact question. And he pretended to be from a radio station.
I ain't got hardly no service over here anyways.
Fair enough.
Call back.
Well,
He always does.
I think. Well, to be honest, we've been going for like an hour and a half. I think this is a good place to end it.
Up to you.
Because I think yeah, I think this is good. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. Go check out the playthrough of Halo Reach. That's the newest video for It's Up. We're working on the Excellent Challenge. I promise you that. We just got to get a day. Tyler's kind of busy with school, and Sims is down here like once a month, so it's kind of difficult to get that stuff straightened out. But I promise it's coming. We're working on it. We're still working up what our what our next sub goal is, what it will be, and what we're actually going to do. But please stick around for that. New banners coming. Some really cool stuff's coming out. She is ready for her mama to be home.
Mhm.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. If you'd like to comment down below, please drop a comment down there. Just I don't have a question or anything. You guys got to. Oh,
One last thing. Raise of hands if you want me to make a recipe book.
He's not even raising. I was going to say he's not even raising his own hand.
Oh, good. I think that's just a video in itself. I think that's a great video in itself. Just let you rattle off random recipes that you're coming up with.
3 teaspoons of kerosene.
All right, all right, all right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.